Hi guys, Scotty Games here again, ready for another video. Can't mind what episode it is, but it's time for another Nitro. As I always say before the start of my videos, please be sure to check out the other videos, that way you know what's going on. But if you're a mega viewer, thank you very much, it's much appreciated. So let's have a look at the last Nitro. So the last Nitro we got a 68 rating. The main event, Booker T defeating John Tenta to retain the WCW World Heavyweight title. Magic, man. So let's have a look at... So we also have a tournament on the go, guys. So how do I see the tournament again? Right, I see it. So there's a tournament so far. So of course last week we had Diamond Dallas Page beat Canyon and Sean O'Haire beat Chuck Palumbo. And then the other two matches, Tenta versus Sabu and Awesome versus Rob Van Dam, will be tonight. So of course the winner of the tournament will face Booker T at Bash at the Beach, the next pay-per-view, which is good. Let's have a look at the storyline. So 3 count is now 2 count. I'll need to really start building that more. That's got a 58, the heat's very hot. A 40 to power is 65, extremely hot, which is good. The Kidman and Torrey and Dundee is 45, a little cold. The Natural Born Thrillers breakup is 58, very hot, which will be getting built on. And of course RVD and Punk, hot, 53. So the storylines are actually going pretty good, to be honest with you. I'm quite happy with the storylines in this moment in time. So the absent workers for tonight, of course, is Hulk Hogan, who's injured but also available for non-wrestling roles, which is perfect. Jake Roberts is in rehab. The Wall was also in rehab. And Taka Michinoku is working for the World Wrestling Federation. We've actually signed Taka, as you can see by the thumbnail. Taka Michinoku is the first real signing for WWF. I noticed that his contract was running out, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to make a bid for him, and he actually signed for... I didn't break the bank for him as well, so it's actually really good to get someone like Taka. Taka's actually pretty good, and I think he'd be great for the cruiserweight division. So yeah, man, happy days. So I'm not sure when he's ready to work. I don't know when he can join. I think it's probably about 30 days or something, That's what it normally is. But yeah, not much has happened backstage, to be honest. Yeah, nothing's really happened much, to be honest. So I think we should just go to the show. Let's go to the show. Why not? Right, wish me luck, guys. So last week, what was it last week again? 68. So I want to try and beat a 68, which I doubt is going to happen, but let's try and do this. Alright, let's start the show. So, pre-show match, didn't have much heat and terrible wrestling. Too Cold Scorpio defeated Reno, whatever, and 628 by pinfall with a tumbleweed. Reno was off his game, commentary was good. Segment rating a 45, which is, that's alright, it's only a pre-show match, but Too Cold Scorpio, I want to get him on the main show soon enough. I want to get him TV time and that, so I think I put him in one match, and that was against Lance Storm for the Storm's Open Challenge thing, so I think it was pretty good if I remember right. Next segment is Fit Finlay versus the Barbarian, which is a pre-show match as well. Barbarian was off his game. Commentary good again, which is good. But didn't have much heat and terrible wrestling. Okay, 42 rating. So let's get to the main show. So we're in the ring, brother. Right, so Hulk Hogan's in the ring. This is how the show starts. So he's acting like the old school Hogan that we all love. You know something, brothers? I don't usually come out here to air dirty laundry or cry and moan about what's going on behind the curtain, but lately the Hulkster's been seeing some moves being made in WCW that just don't sit with me. Eric Bischoff, my brother, my ally, I thought we were in this together, dude. I thought every decision in this company is mutual, but last week you once again made matches and stipulations behind my back. Hogan then starts pacing up and down as he removes his shades. Eric, what's the deal, man? Are you playing me for a fool? 'Cause if that's the game you're playing, brother, just remember, there is no WCW without Hulk Hogan. I made wrestling larger than life, brother. I need to stop typing, brother. I won't lie, DDP. A man I don't like is in my ear. You keep telling me Bischoff can't be trusted, and maybe I'm dumb to believe it, 'cause you just want me and Eric to start tearing each other up. So Eric, here's what I'm saying. You've got one chance to look me in the eye in front of everyone and tell me you're still my partner in this thing. Bischoff doesn't show up, and then Hogan eventually leaves the ring angry. So, it got us to a good start, strong start. Segment rating at 82. Good start. So let's go to a match, and it's the first tournament match of the night. So it was a wild brawl that had a decent reaction from the crowd but subpar wrestling. John Tenta defeated Sabu by pinfall with a seated senton following interference from Kurgan. So that's Sabu's first loss, I think. John Tenta and Sabu have pretty good chemistry. Nice. Jimmy Hart done good work at ringside. Once again, the commentary was good. Segment rating of 51, and it also advanced the world title tournament. Got a 51 rating. That's okay, I suppose. Next segment. Okay. So after the match, we see Eric Bischoff standing on the ramp, laughing and pointing at Sabu, who is still dazed in the ring, but sees Bischoff and starts kicking the turnbuckles and pacing up and down. Calm down, Sabu. You look like a wild animal who just realised his cage door's shut. You didn't actually think you were going to get involved in last week's main event and not pay the price, did you? Let me tell you something. You better calm down, 'cause this isn't ECW, pal. This is WCW. My WCW. And around here, if you mess with Eric Bischoff, you don't walk away without scars. Let me ask you something. Where is your babysitter? Where is Jake the Snake? Is he hiding under the ring? Did he slither away? Or maybe he just realises that hanging around with a loony like you was bad for business. Oh, by the way, get well soon, Jake. Haha. So Sabu grabs a chair and throws it towards Bischoff. Oh no. I don't fight. I own the fights. So next time you try to spoil my main events, you better think twice. Oh, and one more thing. Don't expect Jake to come crawling back to you, because I hear he is in a pretty bad way. So then Bischoff smirks as his music plays. That got a 50. Not very good. Okay. Moving on. So, a pre-taped video is shown of Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan standing alongside Taka Michinoku. They are standing doing a press conference. Numerous reporters are there snapping photos. Bischoff says, "We would like to officially declare that WCW have signed Taka Michinoku. I believe that Taka is the future, and we will no doubt attract more of a Japanese audience. This is what WCW is all about, brothers. We are thinking ahead. We don't believe in the old guys hogging the spotlight." So Hogan and Bischoff shake hands with Taka as the three men pose for photos. So that was a pre-tape, and that got a 67. The Authority Power storyline's advanced. Okay, whatever. 67, that's pretty decent for a pre-tape. Obviously I couldn't put Taka in it because he's currently working for WWE, but yeah, the point's across. So, the camera cuts from the press conference to the locker room. We see Booker T sitting on the bench with a towel round his neck, and DDP is pacing back and forth, clearly fuming. You hear that, Book? You hear that garbage we just watched? The future? Old men hogging the spotlight? Booker T shakes his head. Oh man, I'm sitting here listening to those two jabronis talk like you're the problem. They also hate the fact that I'm the champion. We are the guys busting our asses every damn night to keep this company alive. Exactly. When WCW was crumbling, where was Hogan? He was sitting at home counting his movie checks, and Bischoff, he was too busy looking for the next big TV deal while we were fighting to keep the fucking lights on in this place. And now they stroll back in here talking about the future. We are the future because we didn't bail and we didn't sell out. You're damn right. The future is now, and we are taking this company back. Now can you dig that, sucker? DDP then says, you two want to play games with old men? Well, this old man still knows how to fight, so bring it. Booker T benefited from having a hot catchphrase. What is his hot catchphrase? Let's have a look. What is his... The future is now. There it is, Booker T's new catchphrase. So the storyline advanced and gained heat, and it got a 75. Nice. That's more like it, man. So, good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Lance Storm defeated Shane Helms by submission with a single leg Boston Crab. The match was designed so that the wrestlers could go out and try to steal the show. Storm makes defense number 5 of the WCW United States title. Can anyone stop Lance Storm? That's the question. Wow, I got a 82 segment rating. That's probably the best match I've ever had. Lance Storm's so good, man, isn't he? He got a 75 and Helms got a 66. The match got the crowd buzzing. Nice, man. Very happy with that. 82, wow, fucking hell. Did not expect that. Defense number 5, okay. So, next segment. So we're back. I'm so sorry about all the fucking writing, guys. Honestly. We are backstage where we see Hulk Hogan breathing heavily, pacing back and forth. In walks Eric Bischoff holding a clipboard, looking smug. Hogan says, well, look who finally decided to show up, brother. You've got some nerve, man. I went out there in front of all those Hulkamaniacs and I called you out, and what happens? Nothing. You don't show up. You leave me standing out there looking like a fool, man. Bischoff said, Hulk, calm down. You know better than anyone that I don't answer to anyone's music, even yours. I was handling business and making decisions for WCW. That's my job. Hogan said, it's our job, brother. DDP said you've been working behind my back and trying to push me out the picture, and I'm thinking maybe he's right, man. You're still taking DDP's word over mine? The same guy who has been causing chaos every week, the same guy who was not long ago hijacking the show, mocking our authority. You and I have built this company together. Listen, you want proof? DDP thinks he can outsmart us, but let's remind him who is in charge here. Tonight I'm booking him in a match against Canyon. It's revenge time for Canyon. Now you're talking, brother. Who better than Canyon? Bischoff says tonight Booker T defends the heavyweight title in a 3-on-1 handicap match versus the Nasty Boys and Mark Jindrak. Whoever scores a pinfall becomes the new WCW World Heavyweight Champion. Hogan then says, yes, brother, so you're telling me we are still in this thing together, brother? Bischoff said, I've always been on your side. Don't let DDP twist that. And then they just both shake hands. And I got a 74, and it gained heat for the storyline. That's good. So, a decent match. Vampiro defeated Sean Stasiak by pinfall with a Michinoku driver following a botched interference by Stacy Keibler. Vampiro makes defense number 3 of the WCW World Hardcore title. Stasiak seemed off his game. Vampiro was penalised for being in extremely poor form. Keibler did good work at ringside. So, Stacy Keibler. It looks like it could be the end of that relationship. I got a 55 rating, not too good, but it's okay. The crowd are still hot. So, let's go to our next match. A poor match. Straight Edge Society, CM Punk, Bigelow and Chris Hero defeated the FBI when Bam Bam Bigelow pinned Johnny the Bull with a reverse pile driver. Punk's getting better at his gimmick. Bam Bam was penalised due to being in extremely poor form. So, Little Guido, believe it or not, was actually the best in-ring performer. And I got a 54 rating. Good win there for the Straight Edge Society. So, we go backstage. with DDP as with Stacy Keibler. My guest at this time is DDP. There has been a lot of tension between Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff, and it seems you have been in amongst it. DDP says the truth is finally hitting home. For weeks now, I've been telling Hogan that his best buddy Eric ain't been playing straight with him. I have known Eazy-E a long time, and trust me, when he smiles at you, he's lying to you. Bischoff wants control, and he will tell Hulk one thing to his face and do the opposite behind his back. Hulk may have all the muscles in the world, but he isn't flexing his brain. My spelling's terrible, man. Well, you heard it here. Oh my god! Suddenly Sean Stasiak appears and shoves DDP in the chest. Nobody cares about your conspiracy theories, Paige. You're just a has-been trying to stay relevant. So then DDP throws down the microphone as both men start brawling. DDP then gives Stasiak the diamond cutter on the concrete floor. You hear that, Hogan? You hear that, Bischoff? That's what happens when you get in my way. And now it's Canyon's turn. 64 rating, that's okay. So let's go to the match. Great heat and good wrestling. DDP defeated Canyon with a diamond cutter. So that's 2 weeks in a row. They have great chemistry, which is good. It lifted the match. The crowd are white hot, and it got a segment rating of 75. So the scene opens up inside the locker room of the Straight Edge Society. The walls are covered with motivational posters about sobriety. The stable are meditating as Mr. Hughes is outside guarding the door. Punk says, "This is the difference between us and them, my brothers. They poison themselves with drugs and alcohol, whilst we purify ourselves with discipline. We are better at them." It's supposed to be, we are better than them, sorry. So suddenly there's a loud bang on the door. Then a second, louder banger. The Sandman explodes through it and spits beer in Chris Hero's face and swings his Singapore cane around like a madman. Tommy Dreamer then charges in holding a steel chair. "Straight edge my ass." So Sandman cracks Mr. Hughes with the cane as Dreamer attacks Bigelow with the chair. Sandman says, "Hey Punk, you forgot your medicine." Sandman then whacks Punk on the back as Punk falls to his knees in pain. "Welcome to the high life, you straight edge son of a bitch." The ECW originals walk off laughing as they leave a locker room full of carnage. Punk then shouts very weakly, "You'll pay for this." So that got a 60 rating and it's very hot. Nice. I'll need to actually put them in the storyline. Fucking hell, I didn't even notice that. So I just thought, okay, we'll have a tag team match. Since Chronic are the champions, we'll just put them in a random match versus the Young Dragons, which Chronic won. Brian Adams pinned Jimmy Yang with a high times. Defense number 2 of the WCW World Tag Team titles. Yeah, that's okay. Just thought I'd get them in there. So, basically a squash match here. Sean O'Haire squashes Ernest Miller by pinfall with a senton bomb. The match was designed to tell a specific story. So, Ernest Miller was off his game. The two don't seem to click. The match cooled the crowd a little. Fuck. Commentary was good though, and O'Haire benefited from having a hot new move. I got a 34, the worst so far, and it is totally cooling down the crowd, which isn't good. So, after the match, Chuck Palumbo races through the crowd and enters the ring. He attacks O'Haire as both men start brawling all the way to the back. The storyline advanced but lost heat, which isn't good. The crowd are hot again and the segment rating got a 40. I basically just threw that together because I've got a storyline on the go with them. It was very quickly done. So, another match. Decent wrestling, but it didn't have much heat. Juventud Guerrera defeated AJ Styles when AJ Styles was disqualified when Chavo Guerrero Jr. ran in and attacked Juventud Guerrera. Styles benefited from having a hot new move. Commentary was good. 57 rating. So basically, as we know, Juventud Guerrera and Chavo are in a match at the Great American... No, what is it? Is it Bash at the Beach? Sorry, no Great American Bash. Bash at the Beach. So basically I'm just building that up. 57 rating, that's good. So the camera then cuts backstage as chaos is in progress. We see Jamie Dundee with Torrie Wilson hanging from his arm being chased through the hallway by security. Dundee then storms through the curtain with a microphone. He runs to the announcer's table and grabs a microphone from Tony Schiavone. Hey, hold up. What's the matter? Y'all look like we don't... No, what was it I said? Y'all look at me like you just seen a ghost or something. You're looking at the hottest free agent in this business today, Jamie fucking Dundee. All I hear is Jamie Dundee has no WC contract and can't show his face on WCW TV. But guess what? You can't stop me. Let's talk about Billy Kidman. Your girl realised what a real man looks like. She loves me because I got balls the size of beach balls. Torrie then gets closer to Jamie, grinning. Speaking of beach, I will be around somewhere at Bash at the Beach in a few weeks. So Kidman, feel free to meet up so I can grind your face in the sand, you little son of a bitch. Suddenly security race to the ring. Kidman then shows up and grabs Dundee. Dundee panics and squirms away as he is then eventually tackled by security and drag him out the building. And I got a 35 rating. Dundee did a masterful job of improvising interactions with the crowd. Lost heat. Fuck. 35. Crowd are still hot though, which is good. You want the crowd to be hot, don't you? Oh, speaking of hot, they're now white hot. So, a tournament match again. Rob Van Dam defeated Mike Awesome by pinfall with a frog splash. Pretty basic match. Rob Van Dam's in amazing form and got public support. The match got the crowd even hotter, which is really good. I'm happy with that. And it got a 76 rating. Brilliant stuff. But another loss for Mike Awesome. He's been on quite the losing streak recently. So I got a 76. So let's go to the main event. Right to the main event. So I didn't even need to do that there. A wild brawl that had a decent reaction from the crowd but subpar wrestling. Booker T defeated Mark Jindrak and the Nasty Boys in a handicap match when Booker T pinned Jerry Saggs with a bookend after a bad miscommunication between the Nasty Boys. Booker T makes defence number 6 of the WCW World Heavyweight title. Booker T carried the match in terms of his in-ring performance, even though he was off his game. Yeah, so basically what happened during that match is the Nasty Boys, obviously if you pin Booker T, you become the champion. The Nasty Boys had Booker T beat, but basically Brian Knobbs went for the pin, but Jerry Saggs pulled Knobbs off of Booker T, and vice versa. So that's that. 64 rating, crowd are very hot. So that's the main event, so let's just go to the last segment of the show. So after the match, Booker T wins and exits through the crowd celebrating. The Nasty Boys are still bickering in the ring. Jindrak rolls out the ring, leaving with Paisley. But suddenly Eric Bischoff shows up on the stage, angry, pointing at the Nasty Boys. You two are an embarrassment. I brought you back because I thought maybe, just maybe, you had something left in the tank. You just blew a 3-on-1 match. You can't even beat one guy. Booker T made you both look like idiots. I gave you TV time. I gave you contracts. I gave you a chance. And how do you repay me? You're done. Get the hell out of my ring because you're fired. You're fired. Knob says, you can't fire us. We are the Nasty Boys. Saggs then says, yeah, we're nasty by nature. We're going nowhere. Bischoff says, oh really? I'll have security drag your fat asses out by your greasy hair if I have to. But then suddenly Hulk Hogan's music plays as he stands beside Bischoff. Alright brother, calm down. Let's pump the brakes for a second, dude. Eric, I've been standing in the back watching you lose your mind out here. Yeah, the Nasties had a rough night, but don't stand out here and humiliate my friends, brother. Bischoff says, don't tell me how to run my locker room. I'm telling you to show some respect. These guys have busted their asses for years. They helped build this place when nobody cared about WCW. Bischoff says, we make money and make stars. Maybe it's time you stop dragging your old buddies and do what's best for business. Hogan says, you're walking a fine line, Eric. You want to keep pushing the Hulkster? You may not like what happens next, brother. So basically then, Bischoff storms off furious as the Hulkster looks on angrily. The storyline lost heat. Knobbs is getting better at his gimmick, fuck's sake. He's had the gimmick for fucking years, man. So, I don't think this is going to be a good show. I'm going to predict a 60 rating. It's definitely not going to get a 70. Oh, 68 again? Fucking hell. The fans were disappointed that of the storylines further during the show, none really had any dramatic stakes, which is true. It lost its popularity in 2 regions and gained popularity in 1. Fuck. No very good, eh? 68 though, that's quite decent to be honest. I can't grumble at that. I can't grumble. Not interested in any scrums or anything. Well, there we go, guys. The next video will be another Nitro. I'm gonna try and find out when the next. So Bash at the Beach is on the 29th of January. 29th of July. And this is what, the 11th. So there'll be a couple of more Nitros before Bash at the Beach. So I'll need to start making some matches. Yeah. Dr. Wagner Jr. argument. There was a huge row between the two last night. It is not known how serious the situation is, but it's been said that it's affecting the morale backstage within the company. So let's have a look at how we got on here. So we've got a 68 rating. The show achieved a rating of 0.77 TV rating. Let's see any news. Time to Heal, Booker T. Okay. Okie dokie. Let's have a look to see if anything else happens. So basically we've got here Booker T's in need of a break. Friends close to Booker T have said that they are worried about his recent schedule is taking a big toll on his physical and mental health. A grueling schedule is nothing new to wrestlers, but close pals have hinted that Booker T may be close to breaking point. He was unavailable for comment. That's my champion, man. Fuck. Right, so what I've done is I have took Booker T off of house show duties. I'm also going to take Lance Storm off house show duties. Awesome off house show duties. Shane McMahon off duty. He's not even really a part of my storylines yet, man. So, yeah. Yeah, fuck it, that'll do. We'll take Chavo off as well and DDP. Fucking hell, we're not going to have much of a house show, are we? So yeah, we'll try that. We'll take them off the house show duties. And hopefully that'll kinda improve Booker T's mental health and physical health. Sure do hope so. So the house show just aired and it drew 148 fans for $888 in ticket sales. There's no star power, man, is there, on the house shows? So then we had another house show, 146 fans and $876 in ticket sales. In other news, we have a new WWF locker room leader, the Big Boss Man. Sunday Night Heat airs. Then we'll see Monday Night Raw air, obviously. And then we'll have Tuesday Nitro. There's now tension between Bill Buchanan and Val Venus. Shocker to enter a new storyline. Raw's War. Fucking hell, man. What a show. Another house show held. Fucking hell, man. No wonder Booker T was knackered. So, there we go. We'll give the night off to no one. Automatic, fuck it. Booking team meeting. Let's have a look at the locker room incidents. So Bam Bam Bigelow and Brian Clark apparently butted heads backstage and both are furious with the other. Bigelow has the driven personality, he's currently annoyed. Fuck's sake, that's all I need. So Bigelow was then fighting with fucking Vampiro. Jesus Christ, Bigelow, man, you're troublemaking cunt. The locker room incidents phase has been completed. I will not be addressing the locker room. So, just as we go, that's it. Quick look at the tournament. So the semi-finals, DDP and John Tenta, Rob Van Dam and Sean O'Haire. Both matches will be on next Nitro. So, yeah, thanks for watching everybody, and I'll see you in the next video. I'll quickly save that as well.